to welcome you into our second of our doubleheader of action here of Junior LC football this afternoon, as that first play was marred by a face mask. So the Oberlin Phoenix benefited from that, but right there, not able to take too much advantage as they're dropped for a pretty big loss on the fresh set of downs. As it looked like that was going to be Mason Poling on the carry there, so he wasn't able to get too far, but that makes it second down and 16 to go. As we want to welcome you in for the, like I said, second half of our doubleheader of week 6 here, as we're 60% of the way through the high school season. This is the second to last week of the regular season here for the Junior LC8, so we're getting close to playoff time. At this time, Max Drummond. I'll be joined in a little bit by Paul Williams. We've got Sam Sovko on the camera, and right there, a low pass, almost intercepted. They're going to say it fell incomplete. Looked like Deacon Cooley right there disagreeing with the call, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long now, as he was pretty pumped about possibly having the interception that time. So 3rd down and 16 to go from the 44, as we are live here at Firelands High School. Big thank you to them and all their staff here for opening up the press box for us, giving these kids a chance to play on the Friday night field, even with it being a Saturday with the sun out, as it remains a beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio and Lorain County for some football. High snap that time corralled, and it looks like it's going to go the way of Colin Wilson there, and he fights his way forward for a few yards on 3rd down. So after being gifted or given the face mask penalty and gifted 15 yards on the first play, Oberlin not able to do much with it, as they'll be forced to punt.
Yeah, but one thing that can still help them out of this is they flip the field a little bit, so Firelands to score will have to drive over 70 yards.
And we'll see if they can do that when we come back here. 7:20, just over 7:20 to go on a first quarter clock. And when we come back, the Falcons offense will get their first crack at it. Back here, just under 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter, as Harrison Lenhard will get the first carry of the day for Firelands, as he rifles his way up the right side of the field, cuts across a few Phoenix, and he's going to get into plus territory immediately.
30-yard run right off the bat. Just about the best opening play you can ask for as an offense. And now Oberlin, the yardage that they did gain on their drive, even if it was through penalty, they pretty much just gave it all up and then some on that one play.
As it's a Firelands team that we have seen play with a lot of success and a lot of passion this season. And they continue it right there in that first play on offense, as they definitely have one of the bigger line of scrimmages here in the Junior LC8. Everyone's set, and we're going to see a jet sweep to Cooley this time, as he tries to go around the left side, cuts off of one defender, runs past a few more as he's trying to fight for extra yards. Eventually pushed out of bounds that time by Colin Wilson, but not after another Falcon first down.
Just a beautiful combination of patience and speed at the same time. Hit his spot hard, found a little spot where he can make a move on this defender, open himself up for an extra 8 yards. First down, and Falcons keep it going. 2 straight first downs to open up their offensive drive.
And obviously we go from a game where we have the Keystone Wildcats and their offense, a lot of multiple sets, a lot of passing, and this Firelands team, they're very high potent, but it's a lot more on the ground game with a few more guys getting handoffs.
Yeah, they say we don't need to mess around opening things up from a few passes. Let's just pound it. We're good.
Harrison Lenhart finds an opening there, and he cuts around the outside to pick up another nice gain.
3 for 3 on first downs.
That they are. Wow. As they're already down to the 15-yard line, so they'll set up in the red zone here.
I mean, just off of this first drive and what we just watched, can you imagine Keystone and Firelands going at it with these two offenses? Jeez.
It'll be a title weight fight when they do. And now the Firelands offense with 5 minutes to go on a moving clock here in the first quarter. Set up with Sam Lingus at quarterback in the pistol. And right behind him is Lenhart. Looks like some confusion on the outside there with some of the receivers trying to get set. Here they go, and they'll throw the pass out this time. That'll go from Lingus to Austin Davis. He's going to follow his blockers, trying to get to the end zone, waltzing his way in. And it looks like it may be coming back.
Yeah, dirty laundry right while the play was, or while the throw was happening. Looked like it was on Fireland's side of the ball. So touchdown not, but first pass of the play of the game did look good from Firelands.
And with it being one of those screens, the way the blocking is set up off of that can be very delicate sometimes. It looks like maybe a case of blocking either too early or just getting a little handsy with the holding.
I think you're exactly right.
So it'll move the line of scrimmage. Well, it's tough to say where they're setting this, as I think Davis still has the football in his hands.
Oh, now I think they're picking it up and giving them a touchdown.
So they're waving off the flag, which will mean, or should mean, that we have a touchdown there, and now we'll see if they choose to go for one or two.
Well, I guess we can validate. Great first passing play by the Falcons. Falcons, nice screen with the perfect blocking setup, and that's why I was a little confused from the flag. But either way, the Falcons got into the end zone and very quickly take a 6-0 lead.
And there was quite the discussion there between the Falcons coaching staff and then between a pair of officials, and now an explanation, as you can see, being given to the Oberlin coaching staff, as I'm sure they'll still have some questions even after an explanation.
I mean, I have questions if we're being honest, so I get it.
So they were able to get in the end zone there with 4:33 to go in the game. We're just getting started here in the first quarter.
Ooh.
As I think they're going to set this one up at the 3-yard line and go for one. As we're not used to that today. As in the first game, Keystone on 5 different scores went for a 2-point conversion 5 times.
Yeah, it seems like Firelands does a lot of things at the level of Keystone, but they do them differently. They execute differently. But Firelands is showing they can definitely hold their own on offense.
And this time, we're going to see a pass on the 2-point conversion. And as you can tell from on screen and the celebration, that's going to be good. So Harrison Lenhart on the receiving end that time. Normally you see him as a running back right there.
Yep, and
receiver.
It was a sequence of runs setting all that up, and then the touchdown and the 2-point passing game. Balance, once again, shown by one of these teams, and this time it's Firelands using that to get off to an early lead.
So that lead is 7-0, 4:33 to go here in the first quarter. As Oberlin's offense will now be huddled up and get ready to retake the field, see if they can have a little more success here on their second drive of the game.
Yeah, and it is definitely still early, only their second drive, but they also don't want to fall behind big early either, so this might be more important than we realize, and Oberlin could do themselves well by just getting a couple first downs, getting some positive momentum going, and seeing if they could crack this Firelands defense a little bit.
And we know they have a couple different guys that can do that. That's Chambers right there, showing off a little finesse as Chase Chambers fought his way forward for around a 3 to 4 yard pickup.
Yeah, that's about the best you can get from a play like that. Firelands was all over it from the start in the backfield, but Chambers, he made something happen, and he got only 3, but still an impressive 3.
As he will definitely be one of the ball carriers we call the name of pretty often, as well as Colin Wilson, who we already mentioned on the defensive side of the ball, and Mason Poling. That's their kind of trio of running backs that they like to get the ball to.
Yeah, and they're going to need them all to have their own time of kind of carrying the load tonight, I think, for them to have a chance.
Wilson will get a shot at it here. He breaks off a one. No, technically won't get away as he tried to escape from Deacon Cooley. It looked like he may have, but instead he's dropped for a loss of 3.
And that's just great tackling because it did look like he had a chance to get away. Cooley said none of that, and now Oberlin set up with a tough third down to try to keep their defense off the field for at least a minute or two.
And this play could fall on the shoulders of quarterback Zane Chambers as they may ask him to get involved for the first time today and try to make a play or look downfield as they're back at their own 35 now where the drive started. Pretty condensed formation here. A couple receivers split out either side, though, and he's going to roll left, throw it. He's looking for Chambers, and it's off the hands. Looked like if he had caught it, he may have gotten the feet inbounds necessary for a complete pass.
Yeah, that was actually pretty close. I thought for a second they were going to connect, but instead, 4th down now, and it looks like Falcons will be getting the ball back Falcons will be getting the ball back now with another chance to show off this high-octane offense.
So we do have a timeout on the field ahead of that, either punt or a 4th down play. So we'll take one with them, and when we come back, we'll see how this plays out here from Firelands High School with the Falcons up 7-0. Returning to the field to play, Oberlin, after their timeout, electing to punt. So with 2:56 to go, Firelands back on offense, and we'll start this drive with a run. As I believe we have a change in quarterback as Connor Voros is in the game now taking the snaps.
Yeah, Voros, we've seen him before. He's also capable. Firelands have a lot of weapons and a lot of different guys they can use at numerous positions. But right there, didn't even seem like they got much, but 5 yards puts himself in a nice position on 2nd down. For Oberlin, if they can at least hold them to 1 or 2, put them in a tough spot on 3rd down, that's got to be the goal at the moment.
So they'll try it here with Voros in the pistol. It's a snap. This one, trouble with the exchange.
There's the chance.
It looked like he jumped on the ball. I'm not sure. So he did maintain possession as Wyatt Kisner that time, not able to get the handoff cleanly.
Yeah, and while Oberlin didn't come up with the football, they still, that's a great outcome for them as it puts Firelands in a much tougher 3rd and 7, and one more stop here makes Firelands have to make a decision. If they go for it on 4th down, don't get it, Oberlin can set themselves up in great field position. So big play for the Phoenix defense.
Officially makes it 3rd and 7, just over a minute and a half to go here in the 1st quarter, as the Falcons lead off of an early 1st quarter touchdown pass. This time Deacon Cooley going to get it out of the motion, cutting across the outside, ripped down by Wilson. As I believe that's going to be short of the line to gain.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to be a clear first down for a second, but Wilson never gave up on his pursuit, and he never gave up on the tackle. Once he got control of the arm, brought him down, and now Oberlin has a chance to get the ball at the 48 and really either tie or take the lead in this game, despite it not seeming like it's been – or it's felt like it's been somewhat one-sided so far for Firelands, but Oberlin could turn that around really quick with one play here.
Yeah, stop could go a long way in giving them some momentum. As it will be close to the end of the first quarter by the time this play is done.
Yep, and we know with a team like Firelands, this could easily be a pass, a screen, a run, reverse, you never know.
And Voros, he's going to hang on to it himself this time as it's just a straight quarterback dive out of the pistol, and he'll pick up around 4. So we haven't seen too many designed runs with him when we've covered them in the past. I know Sam Lingus is quite the athlete, but Voros showing off his legs right there.
Yeah, it seems like they read that was going to be there from the defensive alignment, and it was. Easy fourth down pickup for the Falcons.
So it looks like each team will let the clock run out here for the end of the first quarter, as we will be back in a moment and see if the Falcons can build on this 7-0 lead here in Junior LC8 football coverage on YouTube with the Lorain County Sports Network. Start of the second quarter about to get underway here from Firelands High School as the hosting Falcons up 7-0 and looking to continue this drive here against the Phoenix. Cooley in motion. Voros going to fake a handoff, rolling out left, and that pass batted down that time. So it'll fall incomplete and bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good job by the Oberlin defense, reading where the quarterback was going and getting a hand on it. And once again, Oberlin's defense is putting the Falcons in some 2nd and 3rd down situations. I just haven't been able to turn them over yet, but they've shown some things on defense.
Looked like Zane Chambers that time able to get between the passing lane there. And it forces 2nd and 10 is at the 40 from the 48-yard line. Just under, 6 seconds off the board here in the second quarter. So 8:54 to go. Voros gets snap. This time they'll hand off. It's going to go to the right side. And powering through a couple different defenders is going to be Kisner. So he gets another chance to redeem himself there after him and Voros missed the exchange a couple plays ago.
Yeah, great run. Could have went down way earlier, but found a way to pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards before it looked like number 9 Randleman was the one that inevitably bring him down.
So now it will bring up a 3rd down and 5 to go from the, we'll call it the 43-yard line here. This Firelands offense, the way they're able to run the ball, would not be surprised at all if they just try to take 2 plays to get it here on the ground.
They know they're capable, or I think a screen could be a nice little switch up in this type of situation.
Possible hard count there, but it doesn't draw anyone across the line of scrimmage. Snap is back, and they will look out to the flats. That time a catch and run, and that's going to be past the sticks. A little bit more for a first down, possibly, I think, Julian DiFilippo on the receiving end of that one.
Yep, and not exactly a screen, but a short pass nonetheless. And it just seemed like it was there after so many running plays in a row.
So after the first down pickup, we do have a injured Phoenix player on the ground, so we'll step aside as they check on him, and we'll be back shortly here in the second quarter on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back from injury timeout here on the Lorain County Sports Network as Oberlin was able to have the player walk off the field on his own power. So now Firelands back on offense as they continue to give to Kisner. He spins out of one tackle. He's got a couple guys trying to drag him down, but he fights his way forward. And, you know, it's interesting. They've had a couple guys able to move the rock other than Lenhart, but we haven't really seen anybody else get the feature role like he does, but we're starting to see that now with Kisner.
Yeah, and I mean, that just gives the defense. I mean, you have enough of a handful already preparing, and now you have Kisner showing that he could carry a load if he needed to. Just a tough situation for a defense. And while Oberlin hasn't exactly broken just yet, you could tell Firelands is just banging them, and it's only a matter of time till at least it feels like they're going to get a big one.
Yeah, as this running game continues to hammer away, and now it's second and short. Got to imagine that could be in store here from the 28. Voros, high snap there. It throws off the timing, but it's not going to matter. Once again, Wyatt Kisner is going to fight his way forward for a Falcons first down. And, yeah, there was some potential there for Oberlin to catch that one in the backfield.
Yeah, there was actually potential for two things. Oberlin could have taken advantage in the backfield, but also if that was a clean snap, it looked like he might have been able to get that corner, and who knows if he gets stopped at all at that point.
As it's been a steady approach so far from this Firelands offense, not really in too much of a hurry in this game, as now they'll have it first and 10 from the 27.
Yeah, Firelands just taking their time. They know that they can just run the ball, and when you can run the ball the way they can, I don't think that they need to be in a hurry. They play at their own pace, and they're getting it done.
So now Voros, he'll get a hold of this snap, rolling left, and he's going to throw. And being a righty, that's definitely a tough throw to make, and falls incomplete.
And also with Voorhees not getting the chunk of the playing time at quarterback and having some of these snap issues, not anything big, but it's got to affect him a little bit. So he's in a bit of a tough position on a few of his last couple of plays. But he has shown capable that he can throw the ball in the past games.
So now with second down and 10 coming up, 5:24 to go here in the second quarter of play from Firelands High School. Voros checking in with Kisner. Looks like they're ready to go. Gets a hold of the snap, rolls right, and just tries to keep bouncing that one outside, but it's going nowhere, and he's going to be wrestled down. That time by Braden Brown.
And again, an errant snap is, I mean, Voorhees doesn't have much of a chance right there to do anything. And this could be the time Oberlin can come up with the stop that can finally get their defense off the field, as it seems like they've been on there for an extended amount of time.
And that applause obviously may seem out of place after that kind of play, but that's because the cheerleading sections from both sides are performing now. So in case you heard the crowd cheering after that, that's didn't have to do with the result of the play. So 3rd down and forever to go now, as the line to gain is the 18-yard line, and they're all the way back on the 38. And this snap eventually now goes over Voro's head. He's just forced to jump on it, and now likely we'll have to see a punt.
And after showing a lot of dominance for pretty much the whole half up until this point, that last 4 or 5 play sequence is maybe a little crack in that Firelands offense, because the quarterback or the running back, they're not going to be able to do much if they can't get that snap situation figured out.
So the punt will result in Oberlin getting the ball back at their own 24 with around 4:17 to go here in this first half. So looks like both sides are back out there pretty quickly. So we'll keep it here. And I want to remind you that all those logos in the bottom right corner of your screen and when we're at a break are all organizations and companies around the county helping make this coverage possible. So please go out of your way to help support them or check them out or give them a chance, as we wouldn't be out here in a stadium every Saturday otherwise. So now 1st down and 10 from the 24, and there's an issue with the snap there, but Chambers, not the quarterback, but Chase Chambers gets a hold of that, and not as big of a disaster on that play.
Yeah, but it looks like it might be contagious a little bit, because we went the entire first quarter without any issues with snapping the ball, and now there's been 4 or 5 plays in a row where it has been.
And in a situation right now where one play could change the game, obviously, with it just being 7-0, but with how the defenses have played and now some of these issues to get plays started, 7 points could be enough to win this game outright.
Yeah, but it does feel like Firelands has pretty much controlled this game, but you're right, Oberlin, they're one big play away from being tied or having the lead.
And they were going for a big play there, as they appear to be targeting Mason Poling down the sideline. But it's going to fall incomplete and now make it a 3rd and 11 here. Just under 3.5 until halftime.
And Oberlin, they're still pretty deep in their territory, so it would take a lot for them to go for it on 4th down. So this is a tricky position for them. They don't want to turn it over and give it back to Firelands in this area, but they also want to give themselves a chance to pick up this 1st down.
And they know even if they can't get enough here, the punt might not help them out too much, as this time it's going to be Wilson going around the left edge, and he's going to be tracked down. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they are able to hold on to the ball right there, and if they do choose to punt it here, I believe we're still going to see Firelands start on the Oberlin side of the 50.
Yeah, they definitely will, and just a great job from Firelands defense, picking up the offense after stalling out and getting them right back on the field, giving them another chance. And honestly, Firelands defense has been stout all day.
Now we'll see if their offense can play with some of that, as when we come back, we'll see the Falcons get going on the plus side of the 50 at the 48 here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Returning to action here from Firelands High School, as we're just at 3 minutes to go until the end of the second quarter. Sam Ling is back in at quarterback. Immediately he's going to use his legs, and he tightrope the sideline. He was close to stepping out, but he stayed in somehow, some way, sprints ahead. 48-yard touchdown run for Lingus.
And Lingus just getting back in the game after sitting out a few drives, and boy, does he make his presence felt. I don't know how he stayed on that sideline.
As he was able to tiptoe down there and then cut back inside the numbers. And who knows, maybe a couple Phoenix defenders caught off guard or Not sure if the play was still going, and you know what, he took full advantage. That's why you got to keep going until you hear the whistle.
Exactly. Play through the whistle. That's something they could learn. Everyone is learning while you're playing, so no big deal. But wow, Lingus setting the tone. And really, we were talking about how points are hard to come by so far in this game. That's a huge play now. Now all of a sudden, a 2-possession lead, if they get a stop going into the half, feels pretty good for the Falcons.
That it does, and they will set up here to go for one from the 3-yard line as it's Lingus with Lenhart behind him. Seeing man come in motion. And it looks like they're going to give it to him as he's trying to cut up the middle, but he's going to be slowed down and stopped there. Austin Davis not able to break the goal line, so it will remain 13-0 in favor of Firelands with 2:46 to go until halftime here on the Lorain County Sports Network. As we return here to the second quarter of play late in the first half, we see the Phoenix back on offense. Chase Chambers heading down the right sideline, and he's provided a bit of burst on some of their successful plays here as he gets a nice first down to start the drive.
Yeah, that's exactly what Oberlin needed. After a tough couple of drives to start the game offensively, they create something that gets them a first down, gets them towards midfield, and they still have more than enough time to try to get some points on the board themselves.
As we are under 2.5 to go here, they'll mark that one down at the 46. So Oberlin with a chance here before the half to try to cut into this 13-0 advantage that the Falcons do hold. Snap back, Zane Chambers. He's going to roll left, looking out that way, and not able to connect with the other Chambers on that one.
Yeah, I think a bit of miscommunication there. He actually had another receiver streaking pretty close to the area he threw it, but either way, not able to connect. Second down and exactly 2 minutes to go in the half.
So it does set up an ideal spot for a 2-minute drill here, as there's some substitutions going on in that Oberlin offensive huddle. So now they'll head to the line. And it's a passing offense that has really only had a couple chances to go to the air. Some obvious passing downs coming up here, but this will be a handoff to Colin Wilson. Cuts around the right side, runs through a few, stiff arms another, spins out of another tackle, and he's going to keep on fighting his way forward for another first down.
And that's what Oberlin does have. They have a trio of guys. Whether you pass it to them or hand it to them, they can make things happen. And they're just going to need their playmakers to really step up and help lead this comeback if it's going to happen.
And it's a Oberlin team that last week when we saw them against Vermilion played some strong defense, but really couldn't find much on offense outside of a play or two, as it was a 7-7 tie for most of that game. And now the clock will run, starting at 1:40 to go. And counting from here. And with that, we have a stoppage by the official. And so we called it a personal timeout. I'm not sure if they're giving Oberlin a full timeout to work with. Okay, no, it does look like he's calling them back out there, so there may have been something with equipment or something of that nature. And now the clock will run. And Oberlin is still in their huddle, so with 2 timeouts left, surprised they didn't try to use one there to save themselves a little bit of extra time or try to scheme something up.
Yeah, they I don't know. I think they're also, you always got to worry when you have a team that has the offense Firelands has. I don't think they want to have a situation where they give it back to them with too much time in case something happens.
So that's a fair point, and they now are going to have that for sure as they are forced to flip a receiver to the opposite side of the formation.
Too much time.
Drop back, throwing over the middle, and it's just over the head of his target and bounces off the hands of Firelands Austin Davis.
Yeah, that play, I mean, a lot of confusion before the snap, and it kind of played out during the play. Only person that had a good chance of catching that was a Falcon, so not any harm done for Oberlin, but they do still have to play it safe here. There's about a minute left, and a team like Firelands can make something happen in a hurry.
The receiver Chambers appeared to be looking for there was Angel Jones Alend, as he was just underneath of Davis there. Firelands coming out with just 3 down linemen, so they're anticipating a pass here. Oberlin will do that. Looking out right, it's Chase Chambers with a step, and he's got it inside the 20, so a huge chunk play there with 47 seconds to go till halftime.
Yeah, that play was ran beautifully. You could see it from the very jump. Great play off of the line to get ahead of the secondary, and just a beautiful pass to make sure they connect. And now Oberlin is in a prime, they're in the red zone now, so they're in a prime position to put some points on the board. But like you said, now they only have 2 timeouts left with 40 seconds to go.
So the clock will tick now, and Firelands making a few substitutions, and they can afford to do so because Oberlin's not really pushing the tempo here. So now they head to the line, and by the time they snap this ball, there's going to be close to 20 seconds left.
I mean, Oberlin's got to realize they haven't had they have had no chances so far in this type of situation, this close to scoring. I don't know why they're kind of letting it just go.
So from the 16, they drop back, pass out to the right, and it's broken up. They will say it was thrown forward, so they burned about 30 seconds there. Now there's just 12 remaining, and those 2 timeouts still in their pocket.
And they've burned over a minute and 15 seconds just on the last 2 plays alone. Don't really understand it. You have to take advantage of your situations when you're in the red zone, no matter who it's against, especially against a top team like Firelands. You want to get points out of those trips, and right now it doesn't seem like Oberlin is going to give themselves a full 4 downs to try to take advantage and do that.
So now it'll be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion, and with those timeouts and 12 seconds left, you can hope for a couple of plays here. Zane Chambers looking, he's rolling left, he's going to take off, cuts back, and he'll be brought down at the 11. There's 4, 3, 2, now a timeout with 1 sec. So they did call a timeout just in time, it looked like. He waited a while to do it after the play was over, but they're going to get one more chance here before the half.
I mean, they still could have conceivably got a 1st down. So I don't know. I feel like they had about 4 extra, at least 2 or 3 extra plays they could have got off if they managed that clock a little better.
So now it looked like the official at the top of the field granted him the timeout, but everybody's walking off, including the official. So I believe we're going to halftime now, as the Phoenix miss out on a chance for points here, and it'll stay a 13-0 Firelands lead. We'll be back with you to recap the first half and then get the 3rd quarter underway here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Want to welcome you back for the start of the third quarter here from Firelands High School in our junior LC8 coverage. As the Falcons have the ball on offense, Sam Lingus going to throw it deep, and he's got a man open and in and out of the hands of Deacon Cooley, who is beside himself after that one.
Yeah, it looked like Cooley was already making plans for a long trip down the field. It was a tough play anyway. He was kind of twisting his body, but definitely got put in his hands, and that's a tough one he's going to think about.
And a little bit of a busting coverage as it looked like there was a second Falcon open on the opposite hash. And all Lingus had to do was pick who he wanted to throw to. So now that makes it 2nd down and 10 from their own 35. And it's Oberlin team as a whole trying to bounce back from a tough end of the first half. As they ran out of time before getting a chance to score.
Yeah, puzzling sequence of events, but still Oberlin only down 2 scores. So if their defense, they've played pretty solid. If they can just get a stop here, who knows?
Oh, wow. And Lingus going up top as he had a man wide open. Austin Davis was all by himself. And, I mean, that through the air ended up being around a 35-yard throw. Just a little too much on it.
Yeah, Oberlin dodged a big bullet there. Busted coverage, had his player streaking wide. Just couldn't connect. At the end of the day, Oberlin got another 3rd down where if they could get a stop here, get the ball back, who knows what can happen. Let's see if the Phoenix could come through.
As the Falcons will now head to the line. Still under 35. Just 12 seconds gone here in this third quarter as they've elected to try to go through the air on the first 2 plays of the half. Cooley comes in motion. They'll fake a handoff to Lenhart, and rolling right this time is Lingus. He'll cut it up, tries to weave his way through the defense, and gets around 5. So interesting spot to be in here to open the third quarter.
I was just going to say, interesting decision now for coach here with Firelands. I mean, it's manageable, but they are at their own 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to go for it here. This is Oberlin's chance to make a little statement of their own.
So Lingus will head back to the huddle.
Or will they just try to draw them off sides possibly?
That could be, as we saw them use a hard count when Voros was in the game in the second quarter. And looks like they're going to be in the pistol here. So dropping back, and that pass out to the left and through the hands of Davis. So all 3 passes on that drive fell incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. So now Oberlin gets the ball back with 7:50 to go here in the third quarter.
Honestly, it makes that last 2 minutes even more painful, because imagine if they punch one in, and now Oberlin has the ball on their side of the field with a chance to take the lead. So regardless, they still got the big defensive stop coming out the half. So they're in pretty good shape to make something happen. But let's see if they could punch it in, not just get to the cusp, but actually get some points on the board.
And the positive side for them is they will have obviously no time working against them here, have to worry about time management. So see if that opens some things up for them now as we'll see a handoff to Wilson, and he's going to fight forward as drags a couple guys there, maybe gets around 2 or 3.
Yeah, only picked up 2, I think, there, but great effort on both sides of the ball. Hard running, but great defense as well. Hopefully, I think, yeah, they're all okay.
So maybe resetting the football here. So that'll officially go to the 39 as Firelands works with a 13-0 lead here. And it's also worth mentioning, we didn't mention at the top of the broadcast or to this point, but one of their playmakers, Branson Boos, he is not in shoulder pads or gear today, so that may be changing what Firelands has done on offense so far.
Yeah, I'm sure it does have some type of effect, but it also shows the depth that they do have, because it doesn't seem like they missed too much of a beat.
Now here on 2nd and 8.
Great.
I think Poling right there got the ball and lucky to hang on, as not only was he fighting to get a few yards, but he was struggling to hang on there.
Yeah, and Deacon Cooley caught him in the backfield, wrapped him up, and was not letting go. Great tackle there from Cooley to put the Oberlin Phoenix now in a tough third down situation.
And it's officially going to be a 3rd and 10, so they lose a couple yards after the first down gain. And it looked like they had a player running off the field late last play, so now trying to get on the same page here for this all-important 3rd down.
Yeah, and this is why the Falcons went for it on 4th down, because they have confidence in this defense. They do think this defense can make a stand even in tough field position. That's what they're showing right now.
So it's going to be this kind of bunch formation with a wing on either side of the offensive line. Chambers drops back. He's going to put it up. Only one Phoenix in the area, and looks like it'll fall either incomplete. Can't tell if a Falcon came up with it. No, he did not. So that'll be the 2nd straight turnover on downs we've seen to open this 3rd quarter of play. And looks like we do have a injury. So it looks like, yes, so we do have an injury there, and I misspoke. That was 3rd down, so 4th down will be coming up after this, but we will step aside for a quick injury timeout here with the Falcons leading 13-0 at home over the Phoenix. So after the 4th down was brought up, after the 3rd down incompletion, Oberlin elected to punt. And with 5:37 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Firelands gets back on offense from their own 16. It's Harrison Lenhart. He's fighting his way forward, gets through a few different Phoenix, and he'll pick up close to 9 there to start the drive.
Yeah, and Firelands offense, 13 points on the board, but it still feels like they have more that they can unleash, and they haven't had too many big plays. It's been a lot of short but hard hitters. Let's see if they can make a big play or two to really stretch this field and get the ball on the Oberlin side.
We saw their attempt at it last drive, and they just weren't able to connect. So that's been a little shocking to see, as we've seen them have some success through the air this year. Right now, Lingus communicating something with Davis up at the top of your screen. And it'll be a run over to the left side, getting the 1st down. Lenhart trying to get a little more, but won't get away from Colin Wilson that time.
Yeah, good tackle by Wilson. I mean, Firelands got the initiative done, got the 1st down, but at least they limited it and maybe only held them to 3.
As we're close to the halfway point through this 3rd quarter, in a game that's moved a little more smoothly than the first game of our afternoon, as we saw a bit of change of possessions and some more penalties when Keystone took on Vermilion. The Wildcats coming out on top in that one. As that's where we were supposed to be today, but weather impacted that, and now we're out here at the friendly confines of Firelands. So this one a sweep to Cooley, trying to go through a couple different guys, gets around another. He's trying to get that corner as he'll cut back along the sideline. Not the first time we've seen a Falcon do that, as he gets up to the 49.
Yeah, 22-yard run for Cooley, and it was all based off of beautiful play call, a little fake to the right and hand it off to Cooley. He did the rest. That's one of the big plays right there, 27 yards, or I'm sorry, 22 yards on the ground for Cooley, and another first down for Firelands, who have a bunch today.
As they continue a strong effort here, and of course they'll be looking to try to finish this drive off, as they've had a few that have stalled at certain points because of mistakes or penalties. But so far, a clean drive here in this one. Lingus with Lenhart behind him in the pistol. They'll give to Cooley once again. Lenhart going to get out in front, try to lead the way. And he will do that as Cooley gets around the left side. He's past the 30, eventually being jumped on and taken out of bounds. So I'll tell you what, obviously a lot of credit to Firelands here on this drive and starting to break through. But Colin Wilson, that dude doesn't quit.
No, he doesn't. And it kind of personifies the Fireland Falcons. That's how it seems a bunch of them play, especially on defense when you see them swarming out there. And just as we spoke about it now, back-to-back 20-plus yard runs for Firelands, and all of a sudden they're knocking on the red zone door.
As they're doing that with under 2:50 to go as the clock continues to move here. And Firelands, of course, having no issue with that, as they do hold a 2-possession lead already here late in the third quarter, looking to build on it. Going live from the 25-yard line here. Lingus, pump fakes down low, gonna throw up top. He's got Cooley, and just out of reach as the vertical passing game, they just haven't been able to connect as often as they would have liked.
No, they haven't, and a lot of it does have to do with Oberlin's secondary. They have been sticking to their man, making it tough on the Falcons to go up and get it. But, yeah, it's been pretty much all run game as far as what the Falcons have done successfully today. But when you have a potent run game like they have, you can still get it done and win games.
And it's a run game. Gotta imagine we'll see here on 2nd and 10. As it's interesting, so a little bit of a pattern standing out is when Lingus is in a quarterback, he typically has Lenhart with him. But when it's been Voros at quarterback, Wyatt Kisner has been the running back. So they've kind of been holding steady with that as Lingus will keep this one, cuts through the middle of that line, spins away from one, won't get away from the second.
Yeah, it's kind of like the pitcher combo or pitcher-catcher combos sometimes.
Yeah.
But Lingus, he's definitely the bigger threat running the ball. He knows when the run design is for him. He doesn't hesitate, hits the hole, and another big gain for the Falcons as they set themselves up with 3rd and short.
And that will be from the 23 as we get under 2 minutes to go in the third here.
Yep, and once again, no rush from Firelands. Take their time. And I don't think they mind Oberlin knowing what they're going to do most of the time. It's just going to come down to who can convert and who can do or execute a little better.
As they'll try to finish this drive here. Going up top this time, so they tried to go for the end zone there, and it does draw a flag. I believe that will be in the back end of the defense. And a couple times this game, spots like this is where Firelands has struggled to finish drives or to finish off of scoring. But right there, they get the benefit of a penalty.
Yeah, and that's the last thing Oberlin needs to be giving Firelands, because you're right. Despite being able to move the ball up and down, actually punching it in and converting those red zone trips hasn't been something Firelands is doing that well at. They have put a couple touchdowns on the board, but this could easily be a 4 or 5 touchdown game.
Now the Firelands crowd getting into it as they have a little bit of a boost there, making as it's 1st and goal from right around the 8-yard line or so. So now Lingus will be in the pistol. He's We've seen him there pretty often. Lenhart behind him. And it's going to be a counter. They'll fake it to the motion man. And Lingus trying to get away, but he's spun down there. As Oberlin will not make it easy on him.
No, great tackling from Oberlin once again. Aiden Jackson was in there. I think he kind of started it off, got some help from his teammates. And Oberlin, they've shown they can make some stands down here in this field position before. Let's see if they can do it again.
As we're under 60 seconds remaining in the third quarter, we'll see a quick substitution from Oberlin ahead of this second down play. As they are now back at the 10-yard line, so officially it was a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, 4-down territory, I'm thinking, so no need to panic or press. And here we go.
They'll throw out left. They connect. It's Austin Davis. He's running for that pylon, and he's going to make it. Touchdown, Falcons. And that'll make it 19-0. As I underestimated that crowd. I thought the Cowbells would have been a little earlier than that. Wow.
Same. I was trying to let it go because that does sound pretty cool. But, yeah, just an easy pitch and catch for the Falcons. Well, they make it look easy, I should say. And once he got to the outside, there's no question. And that kind of really puts the Falcons in the driver's seat as we get ready to head into the fourth quarter after 26 seconds more of play.
Yeah, it looked like at the end of that play, I believe it was Julian DiFilippo, either him or Lenhart, doing a good job leading the blocking attack there and springing Davis for the score. So they'll go for the 1-point conversion here, double handoff and of sorts, and Lenhart sneaks his way into the end zone, so that'll make it 20-0. And we will come back and see what the Phoenix can do with 26 seconds to go here in the third quarter on the Lorain County Sports Network. Oberlin back on offense here at the end of the third quarter as Chase Chambers gets around the right side and picks up a decent gain.
And Oberlin hasn't had much trouble getting drive started and getting positive yardage. It's just sustaining it and punching it in.
Yeah, we've seen Chambers have a few nice runs to begin drives, and now we'll see if they can carry that over to the fourth quarter, as that will bring the third to the end. And Firelands will take a 20-0 lead into the final quarter of play here from Firelands High School. So when we come back, we will bring you the conclusion of our doubleheader of junior LC8 football here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Glad to welcome you back into the fourth quarter of play here from Firelands High School. As we do have the Falcons leading 20-0 here in junior LC8 football action. As we performed our fifth doubleheader of the season today. And now Chase Chambers gets the ball around the right side, cutting back through. And he navigates down that sideline for another nice pickup. So one was at the end of the third, one to start the fourth. Some nice plays for Chambers.
Yeah, we know Oberlin has this in them. They have guys that can do this. They just have to string enough together to put a score on the board. But this doesn't shock me. Chambers is a great runner, especially when he gets an open field.
So there's another first down, and we have 8.5 to go here in the fourth. As it looks like Deacon Cooley's going to exit the game right now for Firelands. He'll be replaced by Sam Lingus in the back end. So Zane Chambers, he'll get it. Hands off to Colin Wilson, trying to find his way outside. Gets past one. Somehow maintained his footing right there. Looked like he almost slipped on the cutback. And they'll give him around 3 or 4 on that one.
Yeah, Oberlin, I mean, they can pass the ball. We haven't seen them do it much today at all. I remember last week they did the same thing. First half, they didn't really throw the ball. Then second half, they looked like a different team once they opened it up and started throwing the ball. Wonder if they still can maybe unlock that a little bit here. As we have seen, they do have it in them.
Yeah, that way it can have obviously it sets up some run plays a little bit better, but it takes a lot of pressure off of the guys like Colin Wilson, Chase Chambers, as well as Mason Poling, as they've been asked to do a lot against loaded boxes this afternoon. So Firelands will have 3 down linemen and a couple linebackers lurking, and one's going to blitz ahead to Chambers, who lets it go down the sideline as him and his fellow Chambers, Phoenix, they just haven't been able to connect on many balls today.
I was going to say, that's been a couple times now. They're not connecting. I mean, it looks like he can get space. We know when he's out in the open field, he can get open, but yeah, today they're just not connecting on the few passes they have tried.
And a lot of them have been like that, down the sideline or a route heading towards the sideline, and obviously that it can make it a little bit tougher to try to fit in there as you're working against an extra defender along that white stripe.
Yeah, big play now for the Phoenix. Got to keep this drive going, keep some positive momentum.
As it's 3rd and 8, and
there we go.
Chase Chambers trying to follow some blockers there.
Oh, gosh.
We have a couple flags fly out almost simultaneously, and
it looks like that means.
Yeah, it's going to be near the interior of that play.
And really wasn't necessary. Looked like Chambers was going to get the first down regardless. So disappointing if this is on the Phoenix.
As the head official was signaling towards the Oberlin bench, but you see a few of the Firelands coaches tell him send him back. So they will erase that gain right there, which had him pretty close to the first down line. Instead, it's going to back up the Phoenix and replay 3rd down here.
Yeah, and I think they did get the first down before that penalty. Now, 3rd and 12, maybe cut it in half and make it manageable because they have no choice but to go to 4-down territory. They're going for it on 4th down if they don't get it here.
As they are under 6 minutes to go. Snap is back. Chambers looking to the right, and he's going to scramble, trying to pump fake, and then he tucks it. So he picks up a few yards there, tackled out of bounds, close to the 35. So not necessarily the half we may have been looking for them to find there, but it'll make it a 4th and 9 with just over 5.5 to go here.
Yeah, I mean, closer and close enough for them to make a play. Even on a run, we saw that they can pick up these type of gains. But, yeah, this might be their last best chance to make something happen and put some points on the board. So see if they can get one play to get them a first down here.
And they've had a few chances, and opposing territory, and it could be their last one. Like you said, Chambers slings that one out the left side, and it looked like his receiver had held it for a moment right around the 25, and all they needed to gain was I believe the 27, so it could have been a first down, but instead it falls incomplete. And Firelands will get the ball back and possibly look to end the game here on this drive.
Yeah, and it did look like the receiver had it in his mitts. I thought for a second he was going to come down with it, but Firelands not giving up on the play, playing through the whistle, knocked the ball loose, and now their offense is back in control of this game.
As they will get it back at their own 36, so essentially like starting a fresh drive as they normally start at the 35.
Yeah, and think about now the two games we saw today, Keystone and Firelands, different formulas, but same results. Offense looking very good, and defense dominant. I mean, they might bend a little bit, but neither one of them have given up a point so far through this day.
Yeah, and that's got to be, I'm trying to remember, I think the only other time that happens when we did have both of them, and we'll see a stiff arm happen there. But yeah, there's been a handful of times where we've got the chance to see Firelands take on a team and Keystone take on a team in separate matchups, but back to back, and it's after seeing it, you only need to see it one time really, but after seeing it multiple times, yes, it's clear that they are the cream of the crop this year in the junior LC8.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see the balance and to see that both sides of the ball can do it. So when they do, or if they do face off, which sides will the defense finally break, or will the offenses struggle? I can't wait to see.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a fun thing to watch play out as Voros is back at quarterback, and he hands off this time. It's going to Julian DiFilippo as he gets well across midfield.
And when you could bring in yet another guy that can do things like that, I mean, that play just shows he's another weapon. He broke probably what should have been a 7 or 8 yard gain into an almost 20-yard gain. Great run from DiFilippo, and the first downs have racked up. This has to be one of the most first downs I've seen all season from a team. I mean, it seems like they get 4 on every drive.
Yes, very efficient, and it's also been a result of no real explosive plays beyond 30 yards. So sometimes we see some big plays where they may not pick up a first down because they go on to score. In this one, it's just been a lot of keeping drives moving along, and that continues to be the case.
Yep, they've controlled this game clockwise as well. They've had the ball for a lot of time.
Boros will fake this time to DiFilippo. He's got a man open, but he sees some green grass, and he's just going to take what they're giving him. Stutter step as he is hit out of bounds, and
guess what?
I think gets to the 35.
Another first down.
So they will give that first down, and there will also be an injury timeout for a pair of Oberlin players on the ground. So we will step aside. When we come back, we will likely bring you the conclusion of the fourth quarter here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here in the fourth quarter, 3:31 to go as Firelands offense keeps on chugging along here, up 20-0, and we've got potential trick play, a fake screen, and then throwing it up, and that was going to be picked off. So Oberlin comes down with an interception right there. And trying to get a look at who brought that in. I want to say that's a 4. Oh, nope. Not a 4 there. So
possibly a 9.
So at the moment, Ezekiel Randleman, you'll get credit for that interception. And if that's not the case, well, whoever did pick it off, leave a comment down below, and we'll make sure to give you credit in the future. But that's the first turnover for Firelands today.
And the first time they tried something to that extent of a trick play. And honestly, I thought Brubaker and the other out guy, I thought they sold it really well. It was a well designed play, just didn't get enough air under it. But I don't hate trying that this late in the game with the game in control.
Yeah, and there's a potential for setup plays there, as we've seen a few screens today. So now Oberlin's offense will return to the field of play. Zane Chambers, he gets the snap, gives it off. That's going to go to Colin Wilson as he's around the right side, cuts through a defender, and he's going to get wrestled down, loses the football.
You're saying Firelands ball.
So Firelands did get on. Harrison Lenhart has it.
Penalty.
Not sure if they're ruling this down, and yeah, the penalty happened before the fumble, so depending who it's on, this could be very...
I think he threw a second flag after the play for maybe extracurricular.
So now some conversation going on between the pair of officials closest to the ball. So Firelands did throw their football out there, so it looks like the Falcons are going to be back on offense. But now we'll just have to sort out the penalties.
Give it away, get it right back. And again, Firelands defense really needs to be commended. They've given up some yards in this game, but overall, they've played like one of, if not the top defense in the junior LC8.
Yeah, I guess the perfect way to put it is kind of between the 20s. Oberlin has had some movement and made some things happen, but anywhere near the red zone. And then in this case, when they were inside their own 20, not able to get much going. So now Voros is back out there, and behind him is going to be DiFilippo, as they're going to throw it out to Lingus, who catches down the screen, fights upfield, and he's going to get wrestled down.
Just stays in, takes the contact. Gotta love it. That's a football player right there.
Yeah, very heads-up move. And gonna be,
quarterback to quarterback?
Yeah. I was going to say, we haven't seen that combination before. But it can unlock a lot of fun potential for plays and different schemes. So they're going to say he gained 9 there, making it 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, and at this point, I think Firelands are just trying some things or giving some looks to throw off these teams as they prepare for the final week of the season and then the playoffs.
That could be as your eyes, maybe as a defender, you're going to be doing more thinking than playing, and that's where you can get in trouble. So 2nd and 1 from the 12-yard line here. Voros gets the snap, and he'll just hand it off this time. DiFilippo, he's looking for that end zone. He's eyeing it up, and he'll get there from 12 yards out.
And DiFilippo can move. On his very limited touches today, he's racked up big gains, now a touchdown. He's showing that he's a factor in that backfield just as much as the other guys.
And they will now be going for 1. And, yeah, like you said, they've got really their own trio now. We talked about early on the trio that Oberlin presents, and now we're just seeing a consistent dose of Harrison Lenhart, Julian DiFilippo, and a little bit of Wyatt Kisner as well.
Yeah, and when Kisner's got it, he looked very good too. And then you throw in how they can swap out quarterbacks, have one of the quarterbacks go out wide. It's tough to lock in on a team like that.
And they will both be out there as Lingus is at the far left just off your screen, and he'll be a blocker as they're going to throw it out left. And from Voros to Alex Schaefer, that's a successful point after try.
Everyone's getting in on the party now, and just like that, the Falcons have put up 27 points. And still Oberlin looking for their first score, which they will get one more chance to do on this final drive.
So when we come back, we'll see what they have in store for us here in the final of our doubleheader this afternoon on YouTube with the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here on the junior LC8 as we've got Chambers going around the right side, and he's going to be dragged out of bounds at the 50. So that's going to be a first down pickup, and we're getting used to that there.
Almost as consistently as Keystone is going to throw it deep on first down, Chambers is going to pick up 10 to 15 yards on first down. I mean, it's just becoming something that's kind of written in stone.
You got that right. He got pushed out of bounds just before the 50 is. We've got 1:50 to go here in the final quarter of play of week 6, as we've got one more week of the regular season, and then we'll hop into postseason play during October. So we're looking forward to all of that.
Yeah, but where'd the season go, man? It makes me kind of sad. Way too fast.
Well, and I'll tell you, it still feels pretty similar to August right now, so I am shocked we're already here. But
physically and mentally.
Yeah, so Chambers, he gets up ahead on that one and stopped, we'll say around the 47, 48.
Yeah, and I like the fact Oberlin, the players, you still see them playing with a spark, playing with intention. And even though now a minute left in the tough game, they're still giving it their go.
And one of those Phoenix, he's remaining down as Raylan Wilson is slow to get up. So we will go to a break, and we'll be back after this. Back here in the fourth quarter, just over 60 seconds to go as Zane Chambers will roll out left. And they connect, so he gets the ball to Chase Chambers. They've been trying that a few times throughout the afternoon, and they finally connect right there.
Yep, nice connection, and it's never too late to start developing that connection again. There is more time to play, and another timeout it looks like.
So Oberlin here will use one of their timeouts as they'll try to get some points on the board before the ending.
While they do that real quick, let's give quick Guardian situation update as the Tigers have unfortunately won and clinched a playoff spot, which the Guardians can also do with a win tonight against Texas. So we're definitely cheering for them. Ohio State with the victory today over Washington, becoming the first team to beat Washington in 23 tries. So kudos, Buckeyes. Let's go, Guardians. And before we wrap it up, though, let's see a little more junior LC8 action and see if the Phoenix could pop off another big play.
Yeah, and both of those games that you alluded to can be heard on WOBL, as you can listen to Tom Hamilton tonight right here. Zane Chambers throws it up, and it's going to bounce off the hands of Lingus, as he has been in at safety for a few drives here. So 44 seconds to go, and it'll be 2nd and 10 now.
And Oberlin's been probably the team that it's been toughest to get a real read on. There's times when they're just hitting and connected, and they look like they could be one of the better teams. And then there's times where they struggle, but you can see that Oberlin does have a lot of potential, and they have a lot of talent on that squad, despite the outcome of this game.
And it's a team that, like all the other teams here, will have a shot in the playoffs. So you'll be able to wipe the slate clean, so to speak, and get out there. So now we'll see Chase Chambers get the ball, and he'll fight his way through and up ahead for a gain of close to 6. So one timeout remaining for Oberlin here with 30 seconds and counting to go. They'll try to get to the line quickly. Want to remind you that barring any changes, I believe we'll be at Wellington High School next week. We did have a last-second change occur yesterday evening as the junior LC8 informed us of the site change. So as far as we know now, we will be at Wellington High School Stadium, and we'll be there early Saturday for a 1:30 start between Columbia and Brookside, a pair of teams that we obviously didn't see today, but we'll get to see them square off. And then it will be followed with Wellington, the hosting Dukes, versus this Oberlin Phoenix team. So we will be looking forward to that regular season finale from Wellington next Saturday.
And no matter where the games do end up playing at, you can listen to it and watch it here regardless. So we got you covered.
And that is on the Lorain County Sports Network as we're in year 2 of junior LC8 football coverage, year 3 overall of catching high school games and games across the county, not only in football, but basketball as well, even baseball. So year-round, we'll have sports coverage and other looks around the county. Looking in on this game, we're going to see a pass down the left side over there, and this time it's going to fall incomplete. Zane Chambers, I believe he was looking for somebody other than Chase Chambers for the first time.
Yeah, but kind of same result. They're just off a little bit. Was thrown to the opposite side that the receiver was expecting it, and because of that, they weren't able to connect. But he did have enough separation to catch a ball that was placed in the proper spot.
So that leaves just 12 seconds to go, 4th and 5. Oberlin possibly looking at their final play here from scrimmage of the game. As the sun is getting ready to set here, Chambers going to roll left, and he finds Chase Chambers, so they pick up a nice play, cuts around, and Lingus is going to drop him right there. As I'm not sure if they have any timeouts left on the board, so that will finish off the ball game. As this Firelands crowd very much approves of the victory of a 27-0 game. So we are going to wrap up there, and like we mentioned, join us next week for the regular season finale here on YouTube, as we're looking forward to that. And I want to thank Sam Sovacool for all his help this afternoon and running the camera. For my partner Paul Williams up here in the booth, I'm Max Drummond. Have a great rest of your weekend. Remember, like we said, tune into the Guardians on WOBL this evening for those playoff spots and see how that shakes out. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Go Guards.